here. Okay, so where we are here, if you see, it is saying you are on branch main. Ignore. Okay. See, until here it is was saying you are on branch main. Your branch is up to date. Now, when I ran git status, it is newly saying on branch main. Your branch is ahead of origin main by one commit. Use git push to publish your local commits. It is saying use git push to publish in the sense showcase. I mean, throw it to your local commits. To where? To remote. So that's why I said always consider this is like git and this is like GitHub, Bitbucket, whatever it is. So you have did some changes here locally and you are pushing it here. Let me come to here. If you can observe, this is the repository we created. We don't have any files here, right? And we in the local machine inside git we have created a tetra.txt file. We have did some changes. Okay. Now see here. Now it is saying use the git push. Git push. What we should git push? Git push origin. Origin in the sense remote one, the browser one, web-based one. So it's not here, it's somewhere. Git push origin. Previously we used to do master. You can even do masters also for the older repositories. Now our where you should do, see, you have to give the branch name where you should push the changes. In our current repository, we don't have many branches, right? We have only one branch here. That's the main branch. So we don't have many branches here to showcase the different branches here. So that's not master. If you go to the older versions, you can see master. So I can say git push origin main here. Okay. So let me check here. Git push origin main. See, it is saying enumerating objects, 4 done. Counting objects. Always try to understand this so that whenever you got the issue, you will understand where you got the issue. It is saying wrote this many commands, and even if you got some issues, if you feel like, hey, this changes haven't got in my repository, so when you come back it will show you you have added 4 files but it is showing only one file. Here you will understand, oh, this is happened, so never ignore these messages. So it is saying we have pushed your changes to https this website to this user guy into this repository to the main branch. See the magic. Previously, we don't have any branch here. If you refresh it, we got the new file tetra.txt. See, Tetra is a consultancy. We have wrote this in our local machine. So this is the basic flow I want you guys to understand. So basic flow is you can do changes from your local machine and you can push it to the GitHub here. Or for example, this is already there. You want to do some modifications in Tetra. You will simply go into this. You will, you will take the cloning from here. What you are doing, taking this work offline into your machine and working on it and pushing again changes to uh, your branches. So in real time, for the easy understanding from the to the beginners also, I try to explain in this way. But in real time, I try to push git push origin main, but we will never do this in practical. We will always create new branch. This is default biggest branch or main branch. So we are, for example, we are like 40 guys here or 50 guys here. We everyone create different branches. This branch name is main. I can name my branch as like Abdul branch, Habib branch, Nikhil
Can
branch.
you please
Uh,
mute?
Guys, can everyone mute yourself?
नाइट क्या बना हुआ है?
Okay. So so where am um yeah, this is the flow I want you guys to understand. There are some thing running here. You can make this into local by cloning it and do some changes and pushing back. So in real time, we'll be having different branches. Like Abdul will have a branch, Abi will have a branch, Nikhil will have a branch. Everyone will have their own branches. We are all writing code. We are doing modifications in code. We are whoever does first or whoever's code is looking good, whoever corrections are good, we all will collaborate. We'll say like, hey, Abdul's code is good. Okay, we can push this code to the main branch. Then only we will get pushed to the main. Okay, so this is the example. That's why I directly pushed it to the main or master. But in practical, we have every own branches. Like in our own branches only, we'll do the modifications and then only. And practically, we will be having something like pull request on. I'm going to explain this in coming days. So like once your pull request is good and those got approved and everyone in your team feel like this is good, then only the changes will get pushed to the main branch. Okay, this is the basic working I have explained you guys. So these are just with the examples of creation of files I have told you guys. But in real time, we'll be already having the files. Inside the code, we will do the modifications, file modifications. For the file modifications, we can use like Notepad++, we can use Visual Studio Code, we can do many editors, text editors or code editors we can use. I can better, I would say like using Visual Studio Code is a good option because Visual Studio Code have good integration with the Git. Okay, I don't want to confuse you guys. Let me go to this one where we are. So downloads, if I see, okay. This one I have explained you guys. This one I have explained you guys. This one I haven't explained you guys because I already have configured this. So before starting into anything after installation of Git, you guys have to do first of all these things. Here you have to run this command git config global user.name. Inside this user.name, you have to give the username that's displaying here in your GitHub repo. If you see here, this is the username there. You have to give this username. Okay. You have to give this username there and git config global username, user email, and you have to give the email ID with which you have created the GitHub repository. Then you can check all your configurations you have made in git config global list. This will show the list of configurations you have made. So above will also comes under list. So let me run this command and see. See, I have already configured. It is saying username equal to Abdul Salam, email equal to this because I have already run those commands. So that's why I gave you guys that PDF so that it will make our work easy. Instead of running all the commands, it saves our time if you guys already have those commands handy. But even at this step, if you guys face any issues, you guys can let me know. Okay. And okay, let me follow. Some pattern. So this is how it is. We talked about git clone, ls shows the list of that, and cd is the command. Okay, cd I'll explain you. Cd is nothing but like where I can show you. Okay, let me show the command in the terminal example in terminal only. So pwd. See, you are in users, Abdul Salam, documents, git tetra. If you wanna just go, even you can find this in your Windows also, right? In the top, you can find this hierarchy. Like in the top in Windows, if you go in File Manager, it will say, "Hey, you're inside this folder." In Windows, if you wanna go back, you will just give back arrow. But here, what will do? CD dot dot. Now again, give the pwd command. It shows where you are. It is saying users Abdul Salam documents git. You see, you came one step back. If you want to go two steps back, you just have to give cd slash the same command with this one slash and dot dot. It will go two steps back. Git documents. Now if you can see here, pwd, you're in Abdul Salam. Okay. So if you want to go into this, you have to give the element cd documents. Sorry, doc. If you are lazy, you can give the tab. Then again, git slash git tetra. See. There are two files which we have created recently. So yeah, this is the basic working here. And this is the step we have completed. List is the one, git status. Like I said, git status is always important. For the beginners, it's important primarily because when you're working in real time, you have to understand where you stand. Like, for example, you already cloned your code, you have made some code changes, but you don't know which command to run now. When you run git status, it will suggest you the commands which you should run, even if you forget the status. If you see, it is saying on branch main, it is saying on branch main. Where is this branch? It's in repository on remote origin in web. That's there. It is saying it's up to date because previously we already pushed our changes right from here to here. If you see, it was previously there. We pushed it. There is nothing new here. We already pushed it. It is that's why it is saying, hey, you don't have to run any commands. It's everything is clear. Nothing to commit. Work tree is clean. So previously, what it used to say, hey, git add it. Hey, git commit it. Hey, git push it. Now there is nothing. Everything got committed. Everything is clear. So always git status is important to run so that it will show you where you stand there. And echo is the command that's do scat would show you the content of the file. So that's what I'm saying. You are learning a lot of Linux commands also. So if you see here, there are two files. You want to see what's inside the tetra without opening it. You don't have to go inside the file manager or whatever. You just want to see the content from here itself. Inside tetra, what's there? It will display, hey, inside tetra, this is written. If there is something big code, it will display big code also here. And yeah, git commit, git status, git push origin master. These are the things here. And let's cover the different topics now. So basic workflow. These are the basic commands that we're gonna.
సార్ అది చాలు ఇంకా ఇది కట్ చేస్తుంది.
Okay. So basic workflow. Where am I? You see here. These are the commands again we have created. There is list. Okay. Yeah. There is one more command I would say. You can say you guys may get it out. Hey Abdul, you said we are changing, pushing our changes from local to remote. Okay. And you are saying we are on working directory. Everything is local only, right? And why inside local repository on working directory, this many steps are there? Why not from directly to working directory to remote? When you are working with Git repository is very important. Working directory is different. Git repository is different. Git repository notation starts with .git. Inside the .git, your files get stored. Here, this is normal. This is staging area. This file is going inside .git. You can't see that because that's a dot notation file. If you see here, if you run this one, you guys may just see like, hey, I have only two files. List is the command for the listing, right? If you see this, see, -al will show the files that starts with dot also. Basically, we can't see the files that starts with dot when we just run the command ls. If you give the ls-al, it will show you the .git also. So inside .git, you are placing your file. So .git is very important here. But you can say, hey, git tetra, we haven't created .git. We only created tetra.txt. Readmd got created in the browser because it asked as option. Then how this got created? This got created because this is the repo we have created from the browser. It automatically includes the .git file there. See, there are two methods. One is this is the method where we created the repository into the browser, and from the browser, see, this is the step in the GitHub repository. If you can see, we have created the repository. From there, we cloned and kept into the local. So this automatically creates the .git. So we haven't got any need to create the .git there folder. But there may be a vice versa also. There may be a you don't maybe every time you don't have to take it from the remote repository. There may be a chances like where you will create your repository locally and you may be pushing it to the remote. In that case, you will give the command git init here. This is the git init and your project name or repo name. See, git tetra is one repository that we took from the browser, and This is another repository maybe that you are creating in your local machine and you will push it to the remote. See, this is showing replace with the name of your project. Let's come back here. Git tetra is also a repository, right? Inside repository, I don't want to create another repository. Come one step back. So here, these are all the repositories. These are all the repositories that I cloned from the internet to my local machine. Let's do that. Now let's create repository locally and then push it to the remote. For that, what I should do? Git init, give the repository name. What I can give? Local repo. This is not in red. So don't get confused. This is not error. Okay. It is saying initialized empty Git repository. It is saying, hey, I have initialized a repository inside users, Abdul Salam, documents, Git, local repository. Dot Git got created. If you go into that, again, I'm running ls. If you see, previously we only have this five repositories in our machine. If you can see now, there is a local repository also that got created. If you go inside this local repo, if you ls this, there is nothing visible because dot git starts with dot notation. If you can see here. So git init command will automatically initiate the git repository. That's how you're creating the GitHub repository, by giving the git init here. Okay, that's how dot git got created. I believe everything is clear, right? So that's how we are creating repository. And yeah, you can go switch into that repository by giving the cd command. Al will show these commands. Okay. Okay. Can you guys mute? I can't mute every one of you manually. Okay. So, okay. So let's do something. We have everything now ready. Let's go back. I don't want this. I don't want to work in this repo. Let's go back to this repository. Git tetra cd git tetra. Sorry, git tetra. It is saying two files are there. So there is a tetra.txt file. Okay. Let me show you this tool also. This is very important tool. VI tool, VI editor. That's nothing but, like, you can say notepad. Like notepad we have for Windows, like Visual Studio Code we have editors. Like that for Ubuntu Linux machines also we have something like Nano, VI. I would use VI here. VI is editing tool, text editor. So inside tetra.txt there is some text. For example, inside the GitHub repository, inside the Git tetra repository, there is a tetra.txt, and you are asked to do some modifications in that file. What you will do, you clone it into your local machine and you do some changes inside this file and you'll again push back to the machine. How you gonna do this? I'm gonna use this vi tetra.txt. See, this is the content there. Now it's in command mode. If I want to type something new, you can give insert command here. Tetra is a consultancy located um, located in USA and India too. And giving escape command and colon write and quit. Okay, you guys don't even have to do VI code only. You guys can manually do this change in your notepad also anywhere, because in file manager local also you can do this file, right? You can edit the content inside this file. So you know now something happened, some file change has been happened. So this change is important. This change have to be done. Now you have, what is the step? There is a project, there is some work. Your manager, somebody said like, hey, change the code inside this tetra.txt. You cloned it, you did some changes. If you can see here, I have did some changes, right, in tetra.txt. If I come back here, if you can see, that is still not here because that's still in my local machine. I have did some my changes in local machine only. So In local machine only I'm there. What I have to do there? I have to again do these things. For folders I have did, for file changes also, for anything also, we have to do this thing only here. See, I come back here. Git status, run git status. If you don't know what you have to do, run git status. Just give up arrow key, it will show you the previous commands. Git status. It is saying on branchman, it's talking about our GitHub repository, everything is updated. In your local machine, it is saying uh, git add file name to update what will be committed. So it is saying there is some file modified. See, there is lot of difference. When we are creating the folder tetra.txt, sorry, file, it is saying untracked changes. There is nothing getting tracked. But now what it is saying, file is already there. It's tracked. Git know about tetra.txt because previously we git pushed it, right? Git committed it. So it know about tetra.txt. There is difference between untrack and changes. See, previously don't know. That's why when we ran git status initially, it said untracked changes. Then git don't know about tetra.txt. We added it, we committed it. Now it knows it. Now what it is saying, it is tracked. That's fine. Now what happened? Changes have been made. That's not still staged. Changes haven't got from here to here. Okay. So git add casual like every time. .txt. If you run git status again, and it is saying changes to be committed. Same. If you see changes, it is here now. It is saying okay. Let's move forward. Then I'll show you what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we are here. We want to go forward. It's in staging area. Now we have to commit it. So this commit, what we will do, I believe you guys will understand now. It will move it to the .git repository, like I shown you, right? Now we are in casual repository. Now it will move it to the .git repository there. So it is saying run git commit dash. Sorry, every time I'm getting 20. File have been changed. File have been modified. This is nothing like some message like is for the guys, other guys, they will easily understand in the message. Hey, okay, file have been changed. Okay, git commit dash m file have been modified. Okay, which file? You have to give the file name. It is saying here only. Here it is saying about restore, but I will talk to you about that later. .txt. Okay, changes got made. Okay, so now I try to do this. Git restore. No, not this one. I'll try to do modification like this. Okay, so now let's continue here only. So I came here, I went here, and I pushed it to repository. Let me push it. In next example, I'll try to explain what I'm trying to say. So if you run git status, it is saying, hey, your branch is ahead of one commit. Use git push to publish your local commits. It is saying use git push to publish your local modifications to repo. Okay, so let's do git push origin main. See, until here, we still haven't got our changes locally. If you can see, oh, bapre. Until now, our changes haven't committed here. But when I do this, git push origin main, it has sent my changes to the main branch. Which branch? This is the main branch. If you can refresh now, see, my file got modified. This is how we do the changes in file and we'll push it to main branch. All this is, I'm again saying, I'm just trying to show you example with the main branch. In coming, I mean like next session, I'll try to create a new branch and I'll do my modifications and I'll add my modifications to my own branch, personal branch. Only when that is good, then only it will move to main branch. That's I'm gonna show you in next session because I don't want to confuse you guys in the first session itself for beginners. Okay. Okay. And let's do the modification again. I'm doing tetra.txt. I'm again doing the modification to the this file. You can do modification using any editor. This is the editor I'm preferring. You can do Notepad, Visual Studio Code, anything you can use. I will show that also. Find something. I'm just writing some random stuff. Just ignore it. Escape, semicolon, W quit. And again, let me clear this. This is clumsy. Git status. It is again saying changes not staged. Git add it. Okay. Git add tetra.txt. I'm modifying the file. Okay. Now it is saying file got added, changes to be committed. Next, add is done, commit command should be run. So if you see here, add is done, commit message to be here. What we felt like, okay, we don't, that code is not looking good. We don't need the changes. What we should do, we won't go forward, right? You will go backward. For the backward, it is only showing the steps. When you ran git stage, it is only showing the steps. Use git restore this hyphen stage and the file name to unstage so that you'll come from here to here. It will not get staged. Okay. Let's see. Git restore dash dash stage and file name tetra.txt. See, I have it wasn't added. It is showing in red. It is saying git add it. After I have added it, it is when I ran status, it was saying no, go to the another step, that's commit. But what I did, I don't want that changes. That's why I have unstaged it from the index area to back there. So I have run this command git restore stays here. Okay. So I went from here to here, one step back, from here to back. So that's why when I ran git status again, it is again saying it's in like modified area. So again it is saying git added. So it came one step back. So see, in our local machine, changes are still there. In your local file, if you go to tetra.txt in your machine, changes are still there. You are just not adding it, not committing it. I just went from here to here, but here already file changed. But we don't, if we don't even want this change also, we want this like fresh, like how it used to be before. Our new changes we don't even want our new changes. We can run this command. Git restore file name. Tetra.txt. If you get status, it is saying up to date. Why? It modified everything. So here there is nothing to modify here. Okay. So if I run this command editor, if you open this file, see I previously write here, right? I have wrote here, right? Find something I have wrote here. There is nothing here. So it was keeping my file like it used to be before. So these are the commands. These are the advantages of using the git status command. If you don't know git status command, just assume you have to know these commands: git restore, dash dash stage. So git status command also helps you where you stand and where you are. So that's good idea. Okay. So yeah, these are all the commands we used, and the rm minus rf. This is nothing but if you don't want some file, what we will do? We will remove the delete that. We'll just in Windows we'll just go and click delete, right? But here we will use the command rm minus rf. I will show you why. For example, this is file, right? I'll show you the example for the uh, folders or directories. ls here again, ls. If you see, these are all the directories or folders or repositories. That means these are not text files or .py files, nothing. These are folders. If you want to remove something, some repository or folder here, rm is the command to remove. Tetra. It is saying, hey, I can't delete this because tetra is a directory. So even there is nothing, anything inside that file, you can't simply remove the directory using the command remove. So you are mentioning it, remove it recursively, like anything it is, like mass delete it. If you can see now, at least there is no file called tetra here. Got it right. Tetra repository or file got deleted here. It's the beauty of rm minus rf command. Mhm. So yeah, I'm trying to come from the file pattern. And yeah, now it is saying when you have the existing source. This is the example I don't want to show because that's not that much important. See, for example, if you want to take some resource from the internet, you already have some project. See, now we are creating project and creating the files inside the project or inside the, for example, in the GitHub repository also, if you feel there are some repositories, when you clone it, automatically files get downloaded or content gets into your local machine. But if you want to take folders or files from different source from different websites, when you have some zip files there, you can use these commands to unzip it. You can just go to that path, you can give the cd projects command there, and you can unzip that file using the unzip command, and then you can just specify the path where the file is there. Okay. So here we are doing nothing but moving this file name to web project and then listing it and initiating it. So this is telling, so here we have created everything from the scratch, right? So here it is saying how to work with already existing sources, like we already have the folders and file names here. In that scenario, how you want to work it, that's showing here. But I would say chances of doing this is very least here. And time is less here, so I'll try to tell you a short method again. So for example, you are put into a kept into some project, when you felt like maybe that uh, there are some lot of projects outside, other guys or other companies may have did the same work. If you felt like that, you can simply come here, just look further repo git learning. Git learn. See, this is just like Google search I'm looking. Okay. For like Google search, I'm searching here. You can see these are the different repositories of other people. Like ours, we have this pattern. This is the user guy. This is something like I'm Abdul. There is something guy. There is some other guy called CVS. He is having a repository GitLab. We can go into his repository. His repository is having all these files. We haven't did anything right. So you can clone it to your repository. So if you felt like you have to do some work, you're lazy, or if you felt like this is simple work, maybe other guys have already did this work. If you felt like this, go search for it. If you find some related repositories, search for it, go inside this repository. If you felt like, hey, there are a lot of things similar to our project, we just have to do some modifications. Instead, you don't have to create everything. You can just simply do some modifications, or you can just use this for learning or exploring many things. You can, what you will do when you want similar code, you will do create use the copy command, something, right? So here git we have fork here, creating a new fork. A fork is a copy of repository. For allows you to freely experiment the changes in the required fields and mark it with an asterisk, no available version, but see, I have forked it. Now it's mine. If I come here, first report, write and learn. These are there. These are my repositories. This is not my repository, but I have took this from other guy. I just went into his repository. There is a, you know why it is have it haven't clearly shown, because I have forked this already. So whenever you need something, search for it. Just go to fork, and you will having an option like create a fork. Like previously, I got an option. Just click on the create a fork. You'll get the copy. So see, these are the only repositories you have created here. This is not yours, but you copied this from other guy. So you can just come here. You can take this code offline into your local machine, do some modifications, and push changes to this repository. That's how work it is. Like it makes work simple when you have some similar repositories or the similar work you needs to do. Or you can try to learn also using this repositories. Like you're taking this repository from that guy to here guy, your repo. Whenever you got some time, you will just go into inside that repo and find out what are all this, and you can explore and learn here. Okay. So I believe mostly I can cover until here only today, because there are still lot of things that I have to discuss with you guys. I'm sure I can't complete that today. I hope you guys understood everything. If you still have any queries, you can ask in another session, or you can ask me offline also to my number. I would never mind. So thank you for your cooperation.